Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we are talking about with this week's Raw. It was in Montreal. Now, not gonna lie, do like when they're in Montreal. It is, or not so much in Montreal, should say, more so when they're in Canada, because it's very much so like what Jerry Lawler once referred to it as, and it's a lot like Bizarro World, you know? They go against what the norm for the quote-unquote WWE Universe is supposed to cheer for. You know, i.e., it's, to sum it up, they're cheering for wrestling, not sports entertainment. Huge difference. Now, I could spend all day in this entire episode going on about that, but seeing as on how we talked about that in the production meeting, not gonna, so we're moving forward. So they start off with Randy talking about on how he's gonna win the triple threat match at Payback, and on how he's gonna get, and you know, on how he's going to wind up beating the crap out of Seth and Roman, and then Roman comes out and then talks about on how he's going to get payback at Payback, and then Randy says he's going to get payback for his payback at Payback, and then Roman says he's going to get payback from his payback at... You know, it gets kind of confusing after a while. Basically, to sum it up, Randy and Roman were doing, I'm going to kick your ass. No, I'm going to kick your ass. Yeah, well, I'm going to kick your ass twice as hard. Well, yeah, well, I'm going to kick your ass 3 times as hard. That basically summed it up. And that, thank God, I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but thank God the New Day came out. Because they came out and they started talking their shit, you know, basically saying that, you know, Roman, it's okay, you had your shot, but you lost. Randy, it's okay. Seth has your, it's just that Seth has your number, and it's on speed dial. And then they wound up saying that Kane officially made a match, the entire New Day versus Reigns and Orton. So, we get that, so, in the immortal words of Teddy Long, we're gonna have ourselves a tag team match, players! Holla, 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 holla. Okay, there you go. So anyways, start off Raw with the tag match. First match of the night is a tag match. New Day versus Reigns and Orton. I thought it was fairly decent. It was pretty good. It was a good way to make the help solidify New Day as heels. And, you know, I've been shitting on them since they started. That's a proven fact. But, you know, as heels, they're actually starting to rub off kind of in a nice way because of the fact that they're, you know, they're basically going just like the way that they should be, you know, as that, you know, hey, you guys should be listening to us. We know what's better. We are nothing but positivity. You guys are the ones that truly suck, not us. They're giving off that kind of a vibe, and that is actually what kind of works for them. Biggest issue I could truly say I have for them is the neon green, because honestly, you put neon green, white, with a little hint of black in there like that, they look too much like they're trying to copy Jason David Frank with the green Power Ranger suit. And what the flying hell, come on. Give them some good heel colors, you know, have them wear like black with like with a dark color, you know, or even yet, have them go back to their black and blue colors, you know. But yeah, either way, it was, can't really say much as far as what Reigns and Orton working as a team, because, you know, but New Day, they were working pretty solid as a team. It's pretty good on that part. And match wound up coming to an end. Randy, he was starting to cut, he was hitting his signatures, he was winding up for an RKO. Next thing you know, Randy wound up Randy went to go and hit an RKO on Kofi, and Kofi moved right out the way just as Randy was going to hit an RKO, I'm sorry. Roman was going to hit a spear on Kofi, I should say. See, I'm getting my thoughts all jumbled up. That's one of the perks with this show, folks. You get to see it as it is. When I mess up, I don't hide it and I don't edit shit out, much like some douchebag wearing grease paint and saying it's war paint, or some clown hiding behind a mask. But enough about Ollie Ben and Mask Mark. Roman went to go and do a spear on Kofi, and Kofi moved out the way, speared Randy. Roman just looked, he was like, oh shit. Woods pulled him out of the ring, and Kofi grabbed onto Randy 1, 2, 3, and then got the win. So New Day won, which was good for them because, you know, it puts them over as far as with, you know, they're the champs, they should win. So in a way it makes sense. And I'm all for that. You know? After that, Kane came out and said, you know, since you guys have some animosity with each other, give you boys both a match against each other later tonight. So Randy and Roman are pulling double duty. I'll get to that in a minute. Next matchup, the Kings of WWE Wrestling, Kid and Cesaro. And I just use that name because that's kind of the nickname me and B-Rod over at TRN, the Talkin' Wrestling Network, tend to give them when we bullshit with each other out there on Twitter. Yep, we got the Kings of WWE Wrestling, Kid and Cesaro, going up against what the primetime players have officially dubbed them, the Detention. Yeah, that was by far the best. Yeah, but yeah, they come out, and this was honestly just really a squashy McSquash match, because the Ascension have had the most lackluster and debut onto the main roster coming from NXT, which is saying something considering if you look at Adam Rose, you know. But they wound up, it was your normal squash match. They dominated the beginning, and then next thing you know, Kid and Cesaro wound up killing them in the end. But the best part of the match, hands down, once Cesaro got the tag in, man, he went to town, and then next thing you know, got Victor over in corners, wham, uppercut, tossed him into another corner, wham, uppercut, and just kept throwing those European uppercuts back and forth between corners for like a good 30 seconds straight. You know, and dude, after that, I'm pretty sure I'd have had to check and see if my jaw popped out of socket because of getting so many of those shots. That was just fucking balls on shit, man. I love that. That's the kind of shit you want to see in wrestling. You know? Not the, I'm gonna kick your ass, no, I'm gonna kick your ass kind of shit. No, we want to see actual ass kicking and see some serious action. You know? Match wound up coming to an end. You know, it's when Kid wound up tagging himself in. Cesaro picked up Victor and then just gave him the Cesaro swing a couple of times, and then next thing you know, Kid drop kick right to the mush, and then got the 1, 2, 3, so they got the win. Next matchup, we got Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, rematch from SmackDown. Now, before the match starts, Kane makes the stipulation J&J Security is not allowed ringside to accompany him. Okay. Now, as Seth is in the ring and the match is about to start, Kane comes back out and now adds another stipulation to said match, thus saying if Dean Ambrose wins, he would then be entered into the main event at Payback, and then have that triple threat now become a fatal four-way. In which case, first thing I thought of was, when did Jimmy Jacobs start working on creative again? Because this shit is fucking awesome. Seriously? Hey, did any of you guys know when Jimmy Jacobs started? No? Alright. Thank you. No, I'm not going to stop trying to act like you don't exist behind the camera. Producers, they get mad when I talk to them, breaking the fourth wall and all. But yeah, that was really cool on that part, because you got Seth going in there screaming and yelling like a madman, saying no, 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 and then Ambrose like, hey, I kind of like that idea. Anyone else around here think it's a good idea? And then the crowd just went wild for it, and then they went, and their match, that was so beautiful. I don't even have to go into detail on that, because honestly, you've seen the Ambrose Rollins matches before. You know on how these guys can work. In which case, again, thank you Ring of Honor, thank you Combat Zone for giving us these guys. Much truly deserved and extremely thankful on. That DDT, Ambrose hit Tornado DDT, absolutely freaking beautiful. No, and just on a side note, some people were bitching about with DDTs on Twitter. I ain't gonna name names. They were saying, nah, DDT is like the most used move. It used to be one of the most powerful finishers. Now all of a sudden it's just like a common move. It's a shame, dude. Seriously. So was a leg drop, but the second Hulk Hogan wound up using it. It wound up getting feared and revered. It's all in a matter on how you do it and on how severe you put on it. What kind of severity you put on it. That's the whole point of it. Cesaro doing a leg drop won't mean nothing. Hulk Hogan doing a leg drop, though, that's the end of the match. But yeah. Sorry, I had to get that out there, because some people just want to constantly bitch and whine and find all these nice neat little things like, well, that move used to be something about 3 years ago. Dude, fuck you. Enjoy this damn show. Back to the matter at hand before my ADD kicks in. Ambrose and Rollins. Ambrose, he kept going for a quick finish constantly. He went for a couple quick finishes here and there. I thought Seth wound up having this match legitimately won for a minute there when Rollins did a buckle bomb on the Ambrose outside on the security barrier, and you just see Ambrose just looking like, and then once the ref hit 7 and you saw Ambrose standing up, that's when I just thought, oh yeah, that's right. He used to be in Combat Zone, so he's used to being on the ass end of an ass kicking. And proceeded to go in, and then they started going at it some more. Match wound up coming to an end. J&J ran down. You had Noble distracting the ref, Mercury trying to come in and attack Ambrose. Ambrose just tossed Mercury right into Noble, and then and then Seth just looks over like, what are you guys doing? What's wrong with you? And then Dean, boom, quick roll up, 1, 2, 3, and Ambrose is now just like, ah. So Ambrose is now in it. Even though it's obvious he's not going to win the match. That doesn't matter. The fact is that he's in the damn match. He's going to wind up being able to show that he's a made guy in that match. Just like when I said Roman was a made guy at last year's Extreme Rules when he took that beating with the Singapore cane. This is going to be the same thing. Almost just about the same equivalency. Ambrose is going to show he's a made guy with that. Next match we got Rusev with Fan Booger Flicker or Fan Ladies Man or Fan Dancer guy. Johnny Curtis. No. Fandango. That's what his name is. Fandango. The movie guy. And Rusev still obviously showing the whole, he's frustrated that Lana's getting all the attention, he's not getting nothing. and which is good because, you know, there's rumors going around on the dirt sheets and all saying that they're looking to have Lana get into a babyface role, you know, have them two eventually split and have Lana get a babyface role. I could see that happening. You know, I could see them having Lana do some training sessions to go and compete in the ring, small bits here and there, you know, almost in a way like Stephanie did back in the early days, you know, like in the early 2000s, you know. I mean, I just speaking hypothetically on that, but yeah. But this match was obviously what it was. You know, Rusev won with the accolade, but best part of the match was when Fandango wound up climbing out of the ring, went over to Lana, started doing his teasing thing, and then just like, and then, you know, hinting to do the Fandango dance, and Lana was just like, and then she started getting into it, and then Rusev came around, knocked down Fandango, and was like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the hell out of here, and then shooed her to the back, which, not gonna lie, kind of mad at, you know, especially considering, like I said, future ex-wife, you know, just have to take care of Rusev so that way then can marry her, then she'll get mad at me, and then divorce me, and then I'll wind up saying that she was my ex-wife. So yeah. But yeah, that was that match. Next matchup, it was Stardust versus R-Truth. Not really sure on the story behind this match, but you know, I can't really complain on that because you don't need a story behind every match because yeah, that's one of the things I've been pushing on for a while. But the Stardust gimmick is getting really old really fast anymore. You know, I have lost pretty much all interest in it now. You know, I don't get it. You know, I mean, what else is there for him to do? He won the tag team title. He lost it. He beat his brother. Now what's left for Stardust? Because now it's just, okay, the crowd's chanting Cody. Have Stardust either go insane and then have him get like a split personality where he's one part Cody, one part Stardust, or something like that, you know. Have him paint one half of his face to look like Stardust and have the other half just be Cody, you know, make him look like a Two-Face, like Two-Face from Batman, where he's torn, he doesn't know. You know, something like that. But yeah, as far as what the match goes, it was your normal filler match, but Stardust came out with a bag, and the whole time they're like, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? And all I was thinking was from the movie Seven, Brad Pitt, what's in the box? What's in the box? If you don't get that reference, seriously, after you're done watching this show, look up the movie. But yeah, on how the match wound up coming to an end, Truth wound up going over to the bag, opened it up, saw it, freaked out, and the bag was full of little toy spiders, like the little kinds that, you know, like the kind you get for kids. You know, I bought a shit ton of those kind of spiders for my son, and he plays with them like crazy. You know, but it was a ton of spiders because they were playing off of the whole Truth being afraid of spiders gimmick. And then Cody did a quick roll-up and then got the 1, 2, 3. So we got 2 matches back-to-back with roll-up wins. Not exactly the neatest thing to see when you think about it, but not going to go and dwell on it. The best part of that was the WWE Twitter page put out a picture of Cody laying next to a spider like this, like, and all I could think is, dude, when you have a buddy that is high as all hell and they call you up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, that is the look they give you. Act like I'm wrong. Yep. So yeah, next matchup we get Cena doing the US Open Challenge. Now, before he goes and does that, he does the normal selling to hype up the I Quit match with Rusev. Now, who could Cena's opponent be? Well, it obviously must be somebody that would be tough, determined, excellent in executing moves, and, well, seeing as on how they're in Montreal, it's obviously they're going to bring out Bret Hart. Now, biggest part that always pisses me off when they're in Montreal. The second they're in Montreal, they always wind up having to bring out Bret Hart for it in some kind of way. Bring up Bret Hart or have him, a video or have him in person or something. And I'm not shitting on the fact that they're bringing Bret Hart on TV because God, far from it. Bret Hart, one of the best wrestlers to ever step foot in the ring. No lie. It's just, I get pissed on the fact that, okay, dude, we get it. Bret Hart got screwed in Montreal. Let it go. Other people have. The only reason why people still talk about the screw job is because you keep bringing it up. But he comes out, Bret comes out, starts talking about he's introducing who his opponent is. And just as Bret's about to say the name, out comes Heath Slater. No, before you think it, no, it is not Heath Slater that is challenging John Cena. Heath Slater comes out, cuts a promo saying on how he has been denied his chance at the US Open Challenge because he got attacked. He got an RKO by Randy Orton. He got attacked by Rusev, and he is sick of having people attack him in mid while he is right about to, and then wham, Bret Hart decked him. And there you go. That was the end of Heath Slater's moment for the night. And then Bret Hart introduces his opponent. Who could it be? Well, it's somebody from Canada. Somebody from Canada, a very talented wrestler. It must be. Okay, I can't think of a clever joke, so fuck it. Screw you, Kenny. I'm not doing that joke that you had written out. No. Producer, get mad. But it was Sami Zayn, which case everyone frickin' blew up. I mean, like, Twitter, for a second there, I thought Twitter was going to shut down because it got so hyped up over that. And I was almost ready to break my vow of never doing an Olay chant until El Generico saved every orphan in Mexico because of that, because I was so overwhelmed with joy. This was Sammy's call up to the main roster. Understand, his call up. Not just a match, not just a random match, but this was his call up to the main roster. So, not only is his call up in his home province in Canada, but it is also against the top guy in the company in a title match. You want to say this guy is frickin' over? I can't think of any other way to how to say this guy is over. It's fairly obvious. This match was just beautiful. I mean, right off bat, early on in it, it showed that Cena did a slam onto Sammy, wound up looking like Sammy hurt his shoulder. You seen it, and ref called for a medic. Don't know if it was legit or if they were just doing that for story, but really hoping that it was just story. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. This was a great match. And this was one hell of a debut for Sammy. He got all of his regular moves from his repertoire, and the Blue Thunder Bomb, the Suicide Dive, even the DDT through the ring post. And that takes skill right there. The only move he didn't wind up hitting was a Pele kit. Other than that, though, he got every other move in his repertoire down. Out there, I should say. Match wound up before the match wound up coming to an end, it started to rear near the end. Cena, he hit the AA on Sammy. Cena went to go for the pin. Sammy kicked out. Kicked out on Cena's first attempt. Kicked out on Cena's first shot at the AA on it. And, you know, and having him do that, what does that tell you? Yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't know on how else to describe that right there. Yeah, it's, you're having the new guy on the main roster kick out of the top guy's finishing move. Anyways, match wound up coming to an end. Cena hit the 7th move of Doom, as the joke now goes, with the springboard stunner and then going into the AA. You know, and then got the 1, 2, 3. After that, Cena grabbed the title, looked over at Zayn, picked his shoulder up, was like that with him, giving him the sign saying, take that moment. Like I said, now, welcome to the main roster, Sammy. We've been waiting for you. In which case, after his match with Kevin Owens at the NXT show, you know that they're going to wind up having him more regularly. You know? So, next matchup, before that, before this next match, we were supposed to have a women's match with Nikki versus Naomi, but her and her sister wound up getting sneak attacked by Naomi and Tamina, and yeah, next thing you know, you just hear Naomi yelling, "Your reign of the champion over the women's division is over." You know, and just like that, and yeah, it's good to see Tamina back. Not a big fan of the hairstyle she had. You know, she kind of looked like something out of she kind of looked like the bride from Frankenstein. She just needed the lightning bolts in the hair. You know, but yeah, it's I'm hope. Then she was saying that she's bringing in family. Okay, yeah, they're related. We get it. Usos are related to Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka's daughter is Tamina and all that jazz. Okay. But that aside, it's either way. Glad to see we at least got a whole other face on the roster now. Just really am not liking on how they're playing Naomi now as a heel, because now they're making her look like some frickin' street hoe, Having her come out like, like that. What the hell? Okay, I understand you gotta change your persona as a bad guy, but what the flying? What the fuck? Next match was a match that was announced earlier before Raw even started. It was announced on the pre-show. Sheamus and Barrett, King Barrett I should say, versus Ziggler and Neville, and this was a good match. I definitely was digging the hell out of this. If they didn't have Cena versus Zayn, this probably would have been match of the night right here. I dug the hell out of this shit. I absolutely loved it. Now, you got Ziggler you got Sheamus and Barrett, who are two pretty literally tall guys. Barrett's about like 6'7", 6'8". Sheamus is about 6'5", 6'6". They're both pretty jacked, and they're both roughly about over 250. And now with Barrett having the King gimmick, this can work for them because, excuse me, and think about it. Barrett's King, have Sheamus be like a royal knight or a warrior. Have them two, they could start working as a tag team together. Taking out peasants, commoners, those that they feel are inferior, and then eventually go for gold. It makes sense. I can see it going that way. Tell me if I'm wrong, by all means. I'm fully open to hearing it. Always open to constructive criticism, not the kind of criticism that Ali Ben constantly says, where he's going and shitting all over this product and this show. Because Ali, you're my brother, you're a good friend. But honestly, man, you shit on this product and this show and everything I have done here more times than I can count. And more so, you, Mark, you want to keep saying I'm a piece of shit. You've been throwing out the same jokes to me day in and day out. The only difference is you phrase them differently and you brought in a little Muppet as a gimmick with it. You know, and last I checked, I was doing a puppet long before you were, because if you go back and watch some past episodes, I was using a hand puppet, much like this guy, before you brought out your little felt friend. That's enough now. Back to the match. It was a decent match. Absolutely loved it. Good tag teaming work. Good tag teaming work. Good tag teaming action. Match wound up coming to an end though. Neville went to go line up Barrett for the Red Arrow as he was on the apron. Did a sliding drop kick to Sheamus, who was on the outside. Then saw that Barrett was out of position for the arrow, so he went to go and do a springboard off the top rope. Just as he was in mid-air, Barrett, wham, caught him with an elbow, and then knocked Neville out, got the 1, 2, 3. So, you know, obviously we're going to see, hopefully we see more of a feud between Barrett and Neville as we go. And, you know, we're obviously seeing more of one with Sheamus and Ziggler. So now we come to the main event of the night, Roman versus Randy. Before the match can even officially get underway, Seth, Kane, and J&J all come out, and then Jamie Noble just climbs up on the mic, and it says he goes the best line ever. He goes and says he's the Authority's secret weapon. I'm sorry. Oh. 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 Okay. I'm sorry. I'm done. Ooh. Ooh. Whew. So yeah, he says he's the Authority's secret weapon. I can't help but laugh at that, folks. I mean, come on. Jamie Noble's like maybe what, 5'6", 5'8", 190 something pounds, soaking wet, you know, and then he goes. That's like having this little 6-year-old go and say that they can go and beat up Brock Lesnar. That's like, yeah, that would be like having a 6-year-old go and saying they can kick Brock Lesnar's ass. You know, but yeah, Jamie Noble says he's the special ring announcer, ring announcer. Joey Mercury's the guest timekeeper. Seth Rollins is guest commentary, and Kane is special ringside enforcer. So, gives them all a legitimate reason to go and stay out there. Okay. So, they're out there. Randy and Roman, they're going at it pretty fairly for a little bit, and then once they get on the outside, next thing you know, Roman, wham, goes and decks Joey, I believe. No, not Joey. Jamie Noble. And then next thing you know, they all start to get ready to try. Him and Joey, they go and try and go after Roman. Kane's just like, whoa, easy boys, easy. And then next thing you know, Kane, as the match goes on, Kane grabs Roman by the leg, pulls him out, and then gives him that uppercut that he does, that one with the sound. And then the ref calls for it, so it ended in a no contest. But the match eventually turned into everyone brawling. You know, the Authority wound up getting the outnumbering Randy and Roman. And next thing you know, Ambrose came out and started clearing house. They cleared out the ring with everyone except Seth. And with Seth, he wound up getting speared, and then Randy RKO'd Roman, and then Dean hit Randy with the dirty deeds, and then Ambrose was the last one standing. More proof to the point. He's obviously not going to win the match, but it's not that. But that's not what's needed. You know, get made just being in this match. You know, that's the point of it. So all in all, this was a really good Raw. I enjoyed it thoroughly. You know, I give it a good 8.5 out of 10. I give it a good 8.5 out of 10. You know? So, that's all the time for this week's show. So, like all normal, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure y'all also look for my backup account, Tim_Vicious. I'm also out there on that whole Facebook gimmick as Tim Ash. And also, do not forget to follow all of these cool ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, make sure y'all check out Vicky's podcast, The Irish Commodity. I am Danny Sunday, Mucky Moss, Axel Mulligan. Do not forget to check out Axel's show, The SmackDown Breakdown. Sunday Segway, Sinfully Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Alva Ben, and Just a Stupid Mark, even though those two are a couple of douchebags, as well as my client, who, as I have said before, is the true Raw General Manager, Bronx Bitch Forever. And, folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me, great, you hate me. Fuck yous.